In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use AutoCAD 3D to make this metal cylinder and or can. I'm also going to teach you how to put in an environment, and in this case, we have a village. So let's start by making the can from scratch. Let's get rid of everything we have here, and let's just start the whole thing all over again. So in order to make a can, the first thing is we have to make sure that we're in 3D modeling mode. And that's going to bring up this ribbon with all of our 3D tools. So let's go ahead and pick out our cylinder. Now we are doing a cylinder that is going to be 4.25 inches wide by 4.75 inches tall. So the first thing we do is we click and drag out, and then down here it says radius or diameter. We're going to select diameter, 4.25 inches, and we're going to bring it up. Let's zoom in a little bit. We are going to bring it up 4.75. So there's our cylinder, and we're going to go ahead and save that. And notice I already have it marked out as cylinder 2. Okay. If you're having difficulty zooming or things look a little weird, go over to the nav cube, right click, and switch from perspective to parallel. And that'll make things a little easier for you to see. Also, over here, we have our shading options. Let's go with conceptual for now, and then we'll switch later when we need to. All right. So we need to put these metallic rings around the edge here. So in order to do that, we're going to get the regular circle tool, click and drag out, D, enter for diameter, and 4.25. So now we have a ring that matches the diameter of the existing cylinder. Let's go ahead and copy that. And then we are going to get the offset tool, and we are going to offset this ring by 0.25, same as 1/4. Click, pull in, click again, click, drag in, click again. And now we have 3 concentric rings that are separated by 1/4 of an inch. So now we need an object to sweep around this. So let's go ahead and grab the circle tool again, click and drag out, and we're going to click on diameter. You could also do D-enter on the keyboard. And this is going to be a diameter of 1/8. Now we need to turn this little 1/8 inch circle into a region. So we go over to draw, and then we've got the region tool right here. It says select object, so let's do that. Now that's a region. We'll be doing this 3 times, so why don't we go ahead, get ahead of ourselves, and copy it 3 different times. And now we need to sweep this around each one. So instead of extrude, we're going to switch over to sweep. We're going to select our object, hit the space bar, and click on any one of the 3 paths. So there's one. Let's go ahead and hit the space bar to reactivate the last command. Select this, space bar, that. Space bar again to get back to the sweep command. Select it, space bar, and there. So now we have the 3 concentric rings that are going to get placed on here. Let's go ahead and grab the move tool, select the 3 items, space bar, float along the outside until the center comes up. The center doesn't come up, it just means that you don't have your O-snap on. And if you're not finding the center, you can go to your O-snap settings and you can check these off, and also you have your 3D. I would check all of them off at this point. So I do have a center, so I can grab it from here. Now I'll come over here and I can select any edge, and that will bring up a small indicator right there. If I click, that lands all three rings right on top. Now we need to have a ring on the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and select this outer ring, right click and copy. We need to grab that from the center, drag to the bottom where we'll find the center of the ring right here, cylinder, place that there. And now we have our completed cylinder. If we want to get fancy, we can do this. We're going to get the cylinder tool, go to the center, to the edge right here, drag it up, and didn't go. Let me zoom in. I'm going to go to the edge, click, and not playing nice. That's okay. We can fix this. Let's just bring it up. Delete it. Let's do this. Offset by a 1/4 inch. We're going to just go ahead and do this. Now, right now, we're only concerned with the inner ring. So let's go ahead and get rid of the outers. We're going to go ahead and turn that into a region. And let's extrude this up. Now, the height doesn't matter as long as it's more than you need. Now, I'm going to get the move tool, select this, grab this from the center, bottom, float over the edge, and place this on the center right here. And select it, use the arrow tool to move it down. You get jumpiness going on like this, it's because you need to be out in the black. So just lower it down a little bit. Now we're going to do solid subtract. So hit escape, solid subtract right here. We're going to select the large portion of the cylinder, spacebar, and now we're going to select this piece here. And now what you have is this really nice indent. Of course, save as we go because it locks up all the time. Let's make a wooden board to place this can on. So we're going to go ahead and get the box tool. Let's start way out here, click and drag, and then pull down just a little bit. We have a nice wood board. All right. We are ready to introduce materials now. So let's go up to visualize. Let's switch from conceptual to realistic. And I'm going to save again. This is where sometimes we lock up. And we're going to get up this material browser right here. And you can see I have a lot of pre-chosen materials, but since you may not have any, you need to go to your Autodesk library and click here and you get categories. So for me, let's do metal first, and then I've got aluminum flat. Now I could click and drag this directly to the can if I want to. I don't have to because every time you select something and drag it over, it ends up in your own personal library up here. So I already have the flat, so I can just drag this aluminum flat to all of the metal parts one by one, very carefully. It looks like the bottom piece was done already. So now we have the aluminum. Let's switch over to wood, and you see that I can go here and go to wood. And then I've got all these different types of wood. I've also got some that I've already picked. So I'm going to get this birch solid, no gloss, drag that over. And if you're not seeing any of it, it means you forgot to switch from conceptual to realistic. All right, let's drop the materials list. Let's zoom in nice and close. Now, let's set up for a rendering. So we've got to fix all this up here. Now, you can see this sky background and illumination. That's not working. It's gray because what happens is you have to be in your home view. So I'm going to go ahead and click the home view. And now what that's going to allow me to do is that's going to allow me to adjust this. So this should say sky, background, and illumination. I'm going to click on the sun status, and you might get a message like this. If you get it, go to Adjust Exposure Settings, and out of all of these, for this lesson, I want you to pick Village, make sure it's turned on, and I want you to have the exposure setting at 13. So that's good. If you can't find this, it's tucked away right there, and that'll bring it up for you. But we're good. We're going to leave that right where it is. We're going to go from no shadows to full shadows, and then we're not working with Create Light. What we want to do is we want to click here, and then again, go to the exposure settings. If it says turn off default lighting, you're going to say yes on that also. But I've already done that, so it's not going to come up. So now let's zoom in so that we see more can than anything else. Put it to the side a little bit like that. And we're going to go here and float on this tool. And this is the orbit tool. What I want to do is I want to go to a side view and then just see a little bit of the top of the can, but not much. Hit escape to get out of the orbit tool, and then we're going to pan just like that. Now, for rendering, we want to hit this little arrow right here. We want to go to full HD TV. Again, this one, 1920 by 1080, full HD TV. And in this list, we're going to say window. And then we're going to go, normally I would do medium, but to make the video shorter, for this demo, I'm going to use low. But I want you guys to render in medium. Then we are going to click this button here. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us a fresh render. Now, if we look at the background, you'll see that the village kind of got chopped off. So we're going to X that out, and let's make the angle even greater. So just a little more of the side, a little less of the top. Let's go ahead and render that again. And there we go. So you can see the village. We could also change our angle if we want to make things a little more interesting. We can go ahead and hit this corner, and then we'll orbit, and then zoom in like this. We want a little bit of the lid showing, just like that. Let's see if that looks better. We changed our angle. Actually, not so much. Let's kind of really rotate around. Let's go here and then here. And then let's orbit, drag down, and zoom in. So I'm going to encourage you to play around with different angles so you can see more of the village. But I'm going to make this my last render, only to make the video shorter. Yeah, I would still fool around with it until I saw a better background, more like what I showed you in the beginning. All right, so once you've got your render down, we're going to go up here to save. We're going to switch it from PNG to JPEG. Make sure that you're in your 3D folder so you know where you're saving. I got cylinder 2 temp. I'm going to just do, let's see. I'm going to type in can. I'm going to call this can 01 vid because it's the video that I made. I'm going to say save. Go for the highest option and OK. And now you'll have a JPEG to put on the Google Classroom. So that's it for now.